Alright, what's going on guys? Welcome back to my channel and I'm back with another tech news. So the tech industry is moving forward and that with the speed too. So today I have some news for you guys from PCI-SIG. The organization behind the PCI Express standard announced the start of its work on PCIe 7.0 standard. But honestly guys, we had this 5.0 only to talk about. What hasn't changed is that there are no PCIe 6.0 systems yet. Although some technologies were already shown by Nvidia at GTC 2025 this week, and if we talk about the PCIe 7.0, it may take few years for the industry to adopt this new tech worldwide, and the 5.0 standard has been around for like 3 years or less, and nowadays we are seeing a true 5.0 graphics card, and that is with the Nvidia cards only. If we talk about the speed and data rates of the PCIe, are not the biggest contributor to the higher speed. In fact, it won't matter unless someone is using a new GPU on an older platform. Let's say running a 50 series GPU on 3.0 PCIe. That would hurt the speed and performance of the GPU, where the lanes are limited but the card is set to backward compatible. Now on to the news. PCI-SIG has released the PCI Express 7.0 specification version 0.9 for the members view, and it will bring double the data rate of that 6.0 is offering right now. So if you are using 5.0, now consider the jump almost a quadruple, and the goal here is that PCI expects is to double the data rate every 3 years. The news also reports that the version 0.9 is the final draft of the specification. Within the numbers perform internal review of the technology for the essential patents, and that there will be no additional functional changes are expected during this time, and we are on the track. I mean that the PCI-SIG are on the track to see the full specification later this year. However, PCI-SIG is also proud to announce that the frequency of doubling the data rate every 3 years from 64 GT per second of PCIe 6.0 specs to 128 GT per second raw bitrate. The PCIe 7.0 specs is targeted to support data intensive market segments. Now guys, they also pointed the targeted audience or targeted market. These 7.0 specs is targeted to support data intensive market and not gamers and other. And if you talk about the data intensive markets such as hyperscale data center, high performance computing, HPC and military aerospace, and emerging applications like AI, artificial intelligence and machine learning, and 800G Ethernet and cloud computing. Now if you talk about the features and the goals, and the 7.0 PCIe will offer delivering up to 128 GT per second raw bit rate, up to 512 gigabyte per second bidirectional via extreme configuration, and they are utilizing the PAM4 pulse amplitude modulation with 4 level signaling, and focusing on the channel parameters and reach, improving the power efficiency. That's a good one. Continuing to deliver the low latency and high reliability targets, and also maintaining the backward compatibility with all previous generation PCIe technologies. So yeah guys, what do you think? The industry is going too fast or not to keep up? As I said earlier that we don't have the 6.0 yet, and here we have the 7.0 coming right up. Next up today is that Microsoft unveils DirectX Raytracing 1.2 with huge performance and visual improvements, and that the next gen neural rendering partnerships with Nvidia, AMD and Intel. Also at GDC, Microsoft is going to unveil some big updates to its software suite for Windows, which come in the form of DirectX Raytracing 1.2, PIX and neural rendering. But with the DirectX 1.12 Raytracing, Microsoft is introducing 2 new technologies which include OMM opacity micromaps and SER shader executioning reordering, which will help deliver a huge performance boost. Now let's talk about the OMM opacity micromaps that will significantly optimize alpha based tested geometry, delivering up to 2.3 times performance improvement in the path traced games. By efficiently managing opacity data, OMM reduces the shader invocations and greatly enhances the rendering efficiency without compromising the visual quality. And if we talk about the shader executing reordering, offers a major leap forward in rendering performance, up to 2 times faster in some scenarios. By intelligently grouping shaders execution to enhance GPU efficiency, reduce divergence and boost frame rates, making ray trace titles and other smooth and more immersive than ever. This feature paved the way for more path traced games in future. Okay, DirectX 1.2 aims to deliver up to 40% improvement in complex scene as demoed within the Remedy's Alan Wake 2. We will see that too, which showcased at GDC with the latest tech while delivering the substantial and detailed ray traced visual. Now, how the company is doing it with companies like Nvidia, AMD and Intel? So they have that answer too. The company states that Nvidia has already embraced these 2 cutting edge features and which will enable driver support across GeForce RTX GPU, while they are also working with AMD, Intel and Qualcomm for wider adaptation. However, another major aspect that is being introduced by the Microsoft is support for cooperative vector, which is brand new programming feature coming to shader model 6.9 very soon. With these cooperative vectors, developers can leverage new hardware acceleration engines for vector and matrix operations, allowing them to integrate neural rendering techniques directly within the graphics pipeline. And there are some major hardware vendors including Nvidia, AMD, Intel are on the board with the cooperative vectors and neural rendering train. And if you talk about the neural block texture compression, is a new graphics technique that dramatically reduces the memory usage while maintaining the exceptional visual fidelity. Overall, the Intel shaders and other are working with them, so we can see the improvement and ray tracing in the future. But Intel shared that by leveraging cooperative vectors to power advanced neural compression model, they saw a 10% speed up in the inference performance. That's a huge improvement, guys. Now if I talk about the real-time path tracing that can be enhanced by neural supersampling and denoising, combining 2 of the most cutting-edge graphics innovation to provide realistic visuals at a practical performance level. How? Nvidia unveiled that their neural shading SDK will support DirectX and utilize cooperative vectors, providing developers with tools to easily integrate neural rendering techniques, significantly improving visual realism without sacrificing the performance. Now guys, there is a video I wanted to show you. You cannot believe the improvement and the graphics. Just see it for yourself. So this is the video I wanted to show you. I mean, look at these graphics, guys. Can you believe this? In this video demo, we are seeing the 2 latest technology by Microsoft and collaboration with Nvidia, where they already mentioned that Nvidia is already using 2 bleeding edge technologies, OMM opacity micro map for short, and SER shader executioning reordering for short, and they are using the technique like neural block texture compression and real-time path tracing enhanced by neural supersampling and denoising. Nvidia also said that neural shading SDK will support DirectX 1.2 and utilize the cooperative vectors. I mean, yeah, there is a lot going on that we still don't know. And how will these help improve ray tracing, path tracing, lightning, supersampling, and overall game experience, and which games are supported right now? We will wait and see what happens. Next up today is that Nvidia App update brings DLSS override resolution, customization, and new display settings. What are these settings? As we can see here, Nvidia reports on the new app 11.0.3 new updates and says that customize input resolution for DLSS super resolution. You can now adjust the input render resolution for DLSS super resolution by enabling the precise tuning of the new transformer model to optimize performance or enhance image quality. available for supported titles under graphics, driver setting, DLSS override and super resolution, as you can see here in this pic. What is the other thing that they've done? New control panel feature, added display scaling setting, letting you choose different scaling modes, including integer scaling, and decide whether the GPU or monitor handles the scaling process. Available under the system and display. Added display color settings, which let you adjust and calibrate the color setting for your display. Available under system display also. And there are some optimal settings support added for some new games, in which first one was Avowed, Dynasty Warriors Origin, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Kingdom Come, Deliverance 2, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Sid Meier's Civilization 7 and Superwave. And which bugs they have squashed that they are talking about. They have resolved an issue where desktop capture was not activated when using hotkeys. Fixed an issue where Farming Simulator 25 was not detected in the game library. Fixed an issue with the keyboard support in the display tab, and various stability fixes. So this is the new fixes and update with this 11.0.3. so it's available to download. If you are interested, you can update and see if these things are working for you or not, especially the bug side. AMD has also released their version of drivers, AMD Radeon Software Adrenalin 25.3.2 drivers, in which they highlighted two of the games, The Last of Us Part 2 and Assassin's Creed Shadows new game support. And developer updates, AMD Radeon Developer Tool Suite RDTS for short. Update with support for AMD Radeon RX 9000 series graphics card is available now, and that the AMD FSR 3.1 is now available in over 110 available upcoming games. And update your games with the AMD Fidelity FX SDK to have the latest technology support, including the AMD FSR 4 for the new 9000 series GPUs. And what they have fixed the issues are incorrect game eyes exhibited while playing Counter-Strike 2 and using the MSAA x8 on Radeon RX 9070 series graphics product. Intermittent application crash may be observed in Indiana Jones and the Great Circle when settings are set to very ultra quality and path tracing is enabled. Users experience this issue are recommended to use the default ray tracing settings as a temporary workaround. And third-party tools that rely on our ADL SDK for detecting ROPs count will incorrectly report 64 ROPs. That was in my last video that incorrect ROPs are reporting, so they have fixed this issue. Lower than expected performance may be observed while playing Assetto Corsa Competizione on Radeon RX 9000 graphics product, and intermittent systems or application crash may be observed while playing and pressing Alt Tab during gameplay on some AMD Radeon graphics products such as RX 6000 series. And also they have solved the application crash that observed while using the multiple high refresh rate 120Hz monitor with HDMI connections. And Windows Update may override the installed AMD software Adrenalin edition with an older version of the graphics driver on the Radeon RX 9000 series graphics product. So guys, they have released the Adrenalin version 25.3.2, so you can install these and you can see whether the issues that you are facing will fix or not. But also they have also added two more games, Assassin's Creed Shadows and The Last of Us Part 2 Remaster, so you can see how much of the performance gain you get via updating to the newer version of the drivers. And yeah, that's it for today guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.